What is up, people? Welcome back to Fight Chat TV. I'm Lee.
Tom, Fight Chat TV. Welcome back,
Excellent.
guys.
We for the UFC London breakdown show. So great show last night. Before we get into it, I just want to say massive congratulations to George Liddard getting the retaining his British and Commonwealth Commonwealth middleweight titles last night. So great fight. Both boxers put on a show. It was a really good, really entertaining. I think the whole card. I've watched the Liddard fight back. I've watched the highlights of the other card, and it was just pure, real good night of boxing. So
Yeah,
shout out to
yeah.
George
I
Liddard.
managed to watch. I managed to watch the boxing highlights this morning just for that fight. I didn't manage to get it last night, and like me, it looked like it was non-stop action.
It was great. It was a
Absolute.
great fight.
Yeah, I'll catch up on the whole thing later. But well done
Yeah.
to him, big news.
Yeah. Well done, George Liddard. Yeah, on to UFC London. UFC London. I just want to
Yeah,
start
baby.
off before we get into the main show. I just wanted to start off with the last fight of the preliminary card, and that was Mason Jones. Fuck me.
My God.
Mason Jones took on Axel Soller. What a great fight that was. Unreal. Nice to see the Dragon back in the octagon, and he put on one hell of a performance.
Yeah, mate, that was fucking exciting. And yeah, I gotta give the credit to Alex Souza as well because, mate, he just wouldn't go down.
Yeah.
He's an absolute warrior.
Yeah,
But like
I think,
Mason puts some really big shots on him sometimes as well. Obviously, he gives them back, but fucking hell,
I
he
think
did
both.
well.
I thought, and what I liked about the fight is none of them were scared to take a risk. They were doing spinning
No,
fucking elbows left, right, and
no,
center. It was
high
just
kick.
pure high kicks to the head.
Yeah,
I think Mason got wobbled in the first round with a. Oh no, Mason got wobbled in the first
spinning
round.
back elbow,
Yeah.
spinning
He
back elbow. He
caught him
literally
in the
he
elbow
hit
and the
his
fist, didn't
knees.
he? Yeah,
Yeah, he hit the canvas by his knee and somehow just fucking got back up to his feet and
yeah,
just carried on.
yeah.
It
It
was
was
a
great,
fucking
and
proper
then
show.
I
Yeah,
think the first round then Axel got the fucking big cut on the cheek straight away, and
yeah,
but still like another 2 rounds after that they were just both going for it. It was just and Axel was coming with some good wrestling against Mason Jones, who was a great judo wrestling background, and they were
yeah.
just both like I said, what a performance, and it showed with the fight night bonus. So
Fuck
what
yeah. Well, with Alex Souza, when he started a bit of the grappling, and there was talk that he'd done his camp in Dagestan, and
yeah
he'd been Dagestan wrestling. I thought,
yeah
Jesus, you know. And now Mason, his judoka skills, like, and his base is so good to defending
yeah
takedowns. Yeah, it
yeah.
was really impressive. That was
Yeah, I
good
thought,
for
well,
him.
what a brilliant fight. And like you said, Mason back in the octagon is brilliant. Hopefully he'll get on, surely he'll get on a main card. Both of them deserve to be back onto a main card event
Yeah, they
in the
do.
future.
Mason gave a good speech at the end of the fight, right? But
Yeah,
when it was live last night, they cut the
yeah,
mic off.
they cut it all off, didn't they? Yeah. But
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh, go on," and they fucking silent, like, and I was like, "Oh, I
yeah,
missed it," but seen it today. Yeah,
yeah, it was great. Oh yeah, uh, great fight there. So there, let's get on to the main card where we got Moslав
right.
versus Lerone Murphy. Another great technical fight. I don't know what you thought of the fight. I think starting off, and if I just go from the start, I thought Moslав was just a bit. He'd been out of the ring for a year, and I think that showed a bit. I don't know if you thought the same thing. I just thought he was a little bit sort of hesitant, and whether he was feeling Lerone out because Moslав is what I'd say one of the greatest in that division. So
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, he did. He seemed a little bit robotic at first, like he wasn't taking chances that I thought he would take, especially the takedowns. I thought
yeah,
he would go for a bit earlier. He was doing pretty good with the striking. But he did seem a little bit slower than Lerone. I'll give him
yeah.
that.
I think
Um,
after the
yeah,
first round, um, he goes back to his corner, and his corner's like, "Go for the takedown." He's like, "Yeah, I will." And I don't think it was until about the third round that he really started going in for the takedown, and then it just showed. Then it was just like,
yeah, because
just getting him
I
down
was
all the
kind
time.
of I was liking the way it was going with him on the feet, and I was thinking, Lerone could have a chance. What I was thinking, go for a third round knockout.
Yeah.
And when Mozart put the sort of grappling, and he started showing his strength then by ragging him around a little
Mhm.
bit and slamming him. And then I thought you could see where Lerone was struggling slightly in that factor, couldn't you?
Yeah. I think, like, Lerone, for me, had the first 2 rounds under control as such. Maslov was still fast, he was still throwing back shots, but I just think Lerone controlled those first 2 rounds, and then the 3rd round felt it could have gone either way. I guess it went, Maslov's way. I probably the takedown which helped him. He also had a point deducted in that round, didn't
Yeah,
he?
for
So,
them low
um
blows, wasn't it?
so that's kind of big. And then I think after the 3rd round then, it was either the 3rd or 4th round, Lerone started complaining about his hip to his corner,
Mhm,
and
yeah.
I think, Michael Bisping was kinda like, he's complaining about his hip. Is his head gone? Is he just sort of given up? You don't know how much
Yeah.
pain they're in,
Yeah,
but
or is he looking for a way out and thinking, "Oh,
yeah.
this is gonna push me too much," and
He was
yeah,
still throwing beautiful kicks, he was still throwing some great, and he was still moving okay. Maybe it was just the takedowns that was where the pressure was on, and maybe, yeah, just sort of, I don't know. I wouldn't say he gave up, because he didn't give up. They went the complete round, but maybe that was the element where the fight turned. It was the injury that kind of turned the fight around it.
it could possibly be like, it was really hard to score in terms of points.
Yeah,
Like, from all rounds, I thought. I know,
yeah,
like, Mozart was more dominant in the 4th again then,
yeah.
and, like, more takedowns, but, yeah, it was pretty difficult, and like you say, Lerone was still seemed to be moving well, his hip movements, and he still looked fast.
I would say the
I
one
was
thing. Sorry, go on. Finish.
I was a bit worried in the first few rounds with Mozart coming over with those over
Yeah,
the top.
yeah. Mhm.
'Cause he come close a few times, and obviously he's got
Yeah.
some power, and
Mhm.
Murphy done well to avoid them.
Yeah, and I was because I really think you could tell Lerone had been working on his wrestling and the takedowns, because he was getting out. I think he was getting taken down, but he was getting back to his feet. I think
Yeah,
the one that he struggled with is when, because Moslov kept getting him down against the cage, and I think it was easier for Lerone to get up from there. But when he had him down sort of in the center, not in the center, but just off, it took Lerone a long time to get back to his feet from that one, and I think that just, I guess, gassed him, and it was just, sort of
and
toward the end.
you've got to weigh it up. There's levels of grappling in there, and
Yeah.
there's levels of grappling defense. We know, like, Lerone had the camp for Aaron Pico, which would have been a lot of, which he said was a lot of defense work in the
Mhm.
wrestling and the grappling.
Yeah.
And then you got someone like Mozart, like, it is another level on
Yeah.
controlling, I'd say.
But I
But
think
yeah, you got
I think it was a great fight all around. I thought it was gonna be a sort of a bit like we've seen in the BMF, where it was just 5 rounds of being held on the floor, but fair play to both guys. They
yeah.
mixed it up, and they tried their both best to get the win.
Yeah, that's why it was great. Like you say, you had exciting on the feet at the start, then you got
Yeah.
to see Lerone fighting against the grappling, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. As a main card, I thought it
Yeah.
was good. I've noticed this morning when I've gone online and on the socials, there is like a few people out there saying that they don't think like Mozart won, and they think that like Murphy should have had the decision. And what do you think about
Yeah,
that?
I kinda get it, because I was along the same lines, but, toward, when they were doing the decision, I did think it was gonna be Murphy's. I thought Larone's hand was gonna get raised, but
Yeah, there's a
I think then
hometown that, yeah.
from Larone's, um, uh, from his face after it, I think he knew. He was like, "Yeah, I did lose." He didn't, like, put up a protest. He didn't
No,
sort of go,
he
"No,
start
that's not
he
right."
started he sort
Yeah,
of started
so.
clapping before they announced Mozart, like,
Yeah,
so which to
I think
me,
that kinda
he
tells you that the fight,
yeah,
it was the right decision. I think people
yeah.
will have
I
their own opinions, but I do think it was that 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 the decision was right.
I do from what I seen in come from me personally, and
Yeah.
I rewatched it this morning as well as I was watching with one eye open last night, so I, I thought I'd get a better look this morning, like,
Yeah. I
but
yeah,
yeah,
I don't
good all round me.
I don't
what
think
was your prediction? Because I had Murphy for round 3.
I had. I know I didn't put it online, but I did have. I've got it written down here actually. I just put I put Moslav just for. I thought he was just going to out wrestle him. I thought it was just going to be a technical, a wrestling match. So I did put
Yeah.
Moslav, but I did put him down for for a different sign of fight. I didn't think he would finish him. I didn't. I put him down for a points decision win, but the outcome surprised me. As in the fight surprised me, but as in it was not what I thought it was going to be.
I've just got the Lerone Murphy stats up here, and it's 90% takedown on Mozart,
Yeah,
0 takedown on Murphy,
yeah, yeah,
and that's over the 5 rounds there.
yeah.
But they're
I
strong.
didn't.
They're strike.
I don't even think Lerone was going to even attempt to try and take him down. I don't think he was going to try and fight that fight. It was so he
He
did.
wanted on the feet, wasn't it?
He did well.
Yeah,
That I guess sort of didn't do it. So
yeah,
moving
but
on to my sort of next point, like I don't think Lerone Murphy has done anything to damage his career. I think he still stays up there. Maybe he'll drop down maybe once in the rankings, but I don't think he's damaged his sort of start. I think he'll just continue. Maybe a couple more fights. Maybe see what the outcome of the next title fight is if he gets himself back up there. But moving on to Moslav, if he's going to be fighting, because there is rumors that Jean Silva was there last night and he was just saying that he's going to be signing to fight Alexander Volkanovski, and I'm like, huh?
yeah, I know.
I think Dana
I
White
don't.
came out and said until we sign it, there's nothing. There's until we sign it, then there's no truth in it, sort of thing.
Yeah, because as far as I know from, like, watching Volkanovski and his interviews, he said he wouldn't fight anyone else apart from the winner of this fight
Yeah, which I
because
think.
he
I,
respects the rankings. He
yeah,
said
yeah.
rankings are there for a reason. I'm not letting anyone jump in or out. Like, he wants to keep it steady, you know?
And then maybe John Silver fights Lerone Murphy to see the outcome of the Moslav and Volkanovski fight. I don't think you can kind of jump from 10 in the ranking straight up to a title fight
No,
without
it made no
fighting
sense.
someone in the
Yeah,
top 5. So I don't get that one. But moving on to Moslav, how
yeah,
that fight's going to be, I guess, with it before the autumn. I think maybe over the summer. How do you see that fight?
yeah.
Like, how do you see Moslav versus Volkanovski? Is it a bit
I
too much?
I had a little think about it this morning when I was looking through who I thought Mozart would fight and blah blah blah. And I just think Volkanovski's IQ is too would be too good for him because
Yeah,
Volkanovski can grapple like fuck. And
yeah,
I heard him talking on the Mighty Mouse podcast. And mate, he's so intelligent when it comes to talking about
yeah,
like fighting. His IQ's unbelievable and what they study and train.
yeah.
And obviously Mozart's cardio is amazing.
Hmm.
Volk's cardio is amazing. They both usually go to 5 round decisions. I think it would be a war, but I think Volkanovski would come out on top.
Yeah, yeah. It would be a very interesting one because if I think if it went to a sort of same fight like Lerone where Moslav doesn't go in for wrestling in the first 2 rounds, and connects with one of those overhands, I think maybe one of them would be too powerful for say Volkanovski, but only time will
Yeah,
tell, I guess. But it would
because
be interesting. But at the moment,
Mozart
I just
looks like he's a bit stronger than Volkanovski possibly, like, you know?
Yeah, and he's just on he's 20-0 now, so it's a big with a year out. Yeah, it would be a very interesting fight. I never count out Volkanovski; he's one of my favorites, so we'll
Yeah, I
see how
know. That's
that one
kind of
goes.
why I just said it as well, I think, half of the time, because you
Yeah,
just love the bloke as well, innit?
yeah, exactly.
It's just biased, but
Moving on to the co-main was Luke Riley versus Michael Aswell Jr. Again, I thought that was a really good fight. Really, Riley got the points decision win, but I think both of those fighters were just really, really good technical fight. It was a great technical fight, that one.
yeah, mate, I didn't have a clue how it was gonna go. Obviously, from watching their previous fights, they're kind of good, both really good on their feet.
Yeah,
Some lovely kickboxing, some lovely hand striking, and yeah, I gotta give it to them. They did not fucking stop.
Yeah,
They were
because it's
they were flat out for 3 rounds.
13-0 for Riley now, and I know he didn't get the KO, but 8 KO victories as well in the UFC. So he's not. But he
Yeah.
did. He did. I thought he took a lot of shots off as well. I think he was. I don't know if he was rushing in, but he was getting caught quite a lot, and that's why, like you said, didn't know which way the fight was going to go as such, because it was just
Yeah,
a
I
back and
think
forth.
what I noticed with Riley, after his combination sometimes he'd fly in with a combination and then he'd keep his hands a bit too low when he was coming out.
Mm. Yeah,
And as well was counter punching and catching him.
yeah,
And he would fly in and then the hands would drop again. And as well done well there to recognise it. And like you say, he did take
yeah,
some big shots. I mean, on the stats, Riley was a 58 percent striking, and as well was 45% striking.
yeah. So yeah, so
Yeah, it's a fair bit more really.
guess what? Yeah, that's where you got the points win. But yeah, the one question was like he's unranked. Well, it'd be good to see the rankings after this because maybe he moves up into the top 15. I don't know. I'm not like off the top of my head. I don't know how low down he is in the rankings. I think he has put himself sort of now on the map. It wasn't going to be an easy fight against as well, and he's come out
No.
on top. So, what do you think is next for Luke Riley? The questions was, but looking down the sheet, the question I was going to ask before the event was, should it be a co-main event? But like after watching it, I was like, yeah, that was definitely a great co-main event.
Yeah, I mentioned this in my little predictions videos. Like, it was a bit weird to announce that the co-main fight is unranked fighters.
Yeah, yeah.
It
But
just, I went and said it out loud. I thought, you know what? But no, they deserved that
yeah,
co-main. They proved that was a co-main worthy fight.
I
Like
haven't got
they,
his age. Oh no, 26 Luke Riley is. So he's still kind of um he's still quite kind of early in his UFC career. Do you see him like at the top? Not make I think he'll definitely get in the top 10. Do you see him breaking right to the top? He trains with Paddy. So do you see him reaching the
the
heights
I do, mate. The way
from what
he's
you saw
going,
last night?
yeah, the way he's going and the path he's on, I don't think he's gonna fly up there, if I'm honest with you.
Mm.
But I think you've seen an improvement in that fight last night from his previous fight again.
Yeah,
I think he's getting better each time, like little
yeah,
by little. And I do think he could make his way through that division, if I'm honest with you. Yeah, and he's young
yeah.
and he's hungry. He
I would
seems
say
quite a
yeah.
humble dude as well.
I'd say potentially another like say he's 26, so maybe another 3 to 4 years we'll start seeing him in some really big fights.
Yeah, looking up to when he's 28, 29, maybe hitting that
Yeah.
prime. A few
Hmm.
more fights under the belt, a couple more hard ones for him to get round. And yeah, I think he'll get there.
Excellent. Yeah. So like I
I
said,
would
that was a great fight.
I did wanna
Uh,
just make a little note.
sorry.
I'd like to see him fight Arnold Allen next,
That
maybe, if
would
they
yeah,
would do
that
that.
that would be a good fight. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And that's quite kind of a big name for him. Then that would be kind of a he's a guy that's is he no Ireland's not ranked anymore. Is he still in rankings after his last fight? I can't remember. I have to check that.
Well, on the rankings here, he's ranked at 8th, but I
Oh,
know
okay.
he moved down, didn't he?
Yeah.
So,
So that would be a great fight. It's a big name for Luke Riley. So
I think
I'd
it's a
like.
good matchup as well, I do.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That'd be
See
interesting,
how
that
it
one.
goes, yeah.
Yeah. Moving on to the Snorefest that was MVP versus Sam Patterson.
Mate,
Fucking hell.
that
Um,
that's what done me. Like I said, I think that's what put me to sleep last night.
I think the one like everyone knows, like if you've watched the fights, if you watch the fight back, it was very sort of slow and boring. Especially how the card sort of started off from the Mason Jones fight upwards. It kind of like dented it, which I was going to mention that it kind of slowed down the Luke Riley and um, Lerone match. Not slow it down as in fight wise, slow it down as in the crowd were just a bit sort of, I don't know, maybe they fell asleep sort of thing.
Yeah, well, for a second, I thought everyone had left the stadium,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
and then I seen there was people left in the crowd because it just went fucking silent.
yeah.
And
The one thing I was gonna say, like, there's not much to say about that fight. I don't think there's not much to kind of talk about. The one the one thing it doesn't do at the time, MVP was ranked 13, so it's a win. So he'll go up in the rankings? Does he go
yeah,
further on? I know he's 38 years of age. It's done nothing to sort of tarnish his career, it's a win. But do you think Dana White's going to be, oh yeah, let's book him a big fight, or do you think that it's just going to
No,
be fight maybe some up and comers, fight some new guys like Patterson? Patterson, oh, he's not an up and comer. 29. He was nearly 10 years younger than MVP. So
yeah, yeah. My view on this and what I've watched of MVP over the last couple of weeks and leading up to this fight, I think he's going to see his contract out with the UFC and then
yeah,
maybe do something else because he's been
maybe some
talking about a
PFL
lot.
or something.
Yeah, he's been talking a lot about like Dana paying out to the Zuffa boxing. He was very vocal on how unhappy he was about that. He didn't
Well, did you
agree with
see?
him.
I've only just caught it before we were coming on. His entrance music was Michael Jackson. They don't care about us, and that was a
Yeah, that was
protest for the Zuffa
yeah,
boxing, which I like that, and that's going to do nothing to put him in the good books of Dana. So maybe Dana's just like,
uh,
fuck it, let's fight this guy, fight that guy, get
yeah.
out. I don't know how many fights he's got left on his contract. I'd be interested to see what he's
I
got
think
left.
I think he's got 3 left.
Oh, okay,
There's
so yeah,
there's 3 before he signs another one. If I've got that right, but like you said, he said a little bit too much about the UFC, I think, and you know what Dana gets like. He's gonna be
yeah,
like, "Well, fuck this guy then." I think that's the way it'll go. I
yeah.
like the MVP. I really admire him as a martial artist.
I
Like
think he's so good.
he's
I'm
incredible.
actually watching him in Bellator. He was just so good. And then I don't know what it was. He signed with UFC. I don't know. I don't know what kind of happened. Maybe it was just the
I think
crossover.
yeah, and it's been the matchups as well. I don't think the
Yeah,
matchups have been that great, and he hasn't just brought us that exciting fights that the UFC
yeah,
want.
yeah,
So
true.
we'll see what prevails where he goes, but it's hard to
Yeah,
say.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So sorry, going back. Let me just go back over. I had Luke Riley down for the win in that fight. I kind of had MVP down for the win in that one. I just thought he'd just be a bit too good for him. Um, And then going on to the next fight, which is it'll be a very quick talk. There was Iwo Baranowski versus Austin Lane, 15-second KO.
Fucking
Um,
hell, no.
it's
He's a steam train, isn't
crazy.
he?
He's honestly he's massive as well, like heavyweight, and he's fucking huge. He's
Yeah, I
huge.
know. He's
He,
walking around at something like 20 pounds heavier, I
yeah,
think, than yeah, he's a beast, man.
yeah. Like I put down from like he's 7-0 professional, 2-0 in the UFC. His last fight was a fucking round one decision. I put down like going to Austin Lane. He's 13-7, 2 wins in 8. So I put down a question before, like when we were going to record the show, but we didn't get around to it. Is this a fight just to get Baranowski's stock up? Yes, I think it was.
Yeah,
And then
100%. Yeah.
and then I put down, is it going to be a first round KO? That was the question I was going to ask you before the fight, and that's the question that
Yeah.
came out of it.
And yeah, that's exactly what we got, what we thought we might get as well.
Yeah,
Thing is, we haven't really seen him go that far yet, have
no,
we?
and they
Fight wise
mentioned
and rounds.
they mentioned that last night because his background is he's black belt in judo, I believe. Yeah,
Yeah,
his
exactly. And
background is judo.
he's competed in the ADC's nationals for BJJ as well.
Yeah, so you want to see more of that, but at the moment, it's if you can get him out in the first round, get him out
Mate,
because what
yeah,
what
he's using the quick and easy tools out the tool bag,
what
innit? He
what
knows what he can
that,
do. So
what that does then, like he's 27, uh, first round knockouts, you get to fight more fights throughout the year then because you can just fit in more. You're not as drained by going 5
no,
or 3 5 rounders. So just get him in there out there quickly, get your stock up, and then it's time
yeah,
to sort of. I
he's
would.
coming out unscathed, isn't it? It's easy
Yeah.
money for him.
Is there anyone in the light heavyweight division you'd like to see fight next?
I had a quick look over. I mean, he's not ranked, is he, at the minute?
No, he's unranked at the moment. Yeah,
So will he get a ranking after this, or will it be one more fight? Do you think?
I think it'd be interesting to see what comes out of the rankings after this. I don't know. They usually put them up Sunday, Monday, so we'll have a look. But
Yeah, I don't think it's updated this morning because I'm on there yet. But you've got someone say like Johnny Walker ranked at number at 12, like
yeah,
heavyweight.
I
So
was going to say from 10 to 15, I think he could fight someone from there now. What fight is
yeah,
everyone the rankings up there?
yeah. So we
Who's
go
10 to
for
15?
we go 10 to 15. 10's Dominic Reyes,
Yeah.
Alexander Rakic,
Hmm.
Johnny Walker, Natita Krylov, Dustin Jacoby, and Zhang Min Yang.
Yeah, I think, yeah, like you said, I think Johnny Walker would be the best one to have on his resume for that one. That would be a good
I
fight.
think that'd be a good fight and a matchup for him as well, because Johnny's a big boy, isn't
Yeah.
he?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
so see what comes of that on the rankings then.
yeah,
I
that'll be
think
another.
he's gonna be a good one to follow now because we've just started following him early
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
see how he
Yeah.
goes.
Yeah. Yeah. Very interesting. Big fucking Eastern European Polish warrior. See how that one
Yeah,
goes. Moving on to Roman Dolidze, sorry, versus Leroy Duncan. Decision win for Duncan.
yeah,
Unranked Duncan is. Dolidze was ranked 11, so that's a good fight to have on his resume. I watched the fight back this morning. I think it was just the first 2 rounds was a great masterclass in striking from Leroy Duncan. I just think he was
yeah.
just really, really good at his striking. I think then Dolidze took the 3rd round. He was just grappling a bit more and getting him down, but I think by then he'd already known that he was probably out of it. So
Yeah, I gotta be honest, Dulles for me, he needed to pull more out of the bag. He just going for that leg all the time. And
yeah,
when he kept falling onto his shoulder and his back, taking himself down to try and initiate the takedown, it done nothing. Like CLD was just walking away from him,
yeah,
basically, getting out of that takedown. And I've never seen switch stance and hip movement like CLD in all my fucking life.
yeah, yeah,
The way he moves them feet back and forth, switch his stance while he's just
yeah.
bouncing around, it makes him
Hmm.
look like he's fucking floating.
He's 30 now. Still, he's still got a good few years ahead. Again, this is another one where he's unranked, so it'd be really good to see where he is in the rankings after his 4 wins out of 5. Um,
Yeah.
Again, like we did on the last one, what is like he's just beat a rank 11. So does he now go 10-5, fight someone in the 10-5?
Well, he was asked in the interview after by Bisping,
Oh, I missed
who
the
do you want.
interview. Yeah,
Yeah, he did say so from Monday, he'll be a ranked fighter after
yeah.
that performance, and, he said he'll take on anybody who's a rank above him.
Oh,
I
okay,
mean, you've got at the moment I'll just get the rankings up now and then see who we got for him. Bear with me a sec. Right, Dollar D's is 11, and then if he goes in, right, yeah. So we got like Bruno Ferreira ranked 15,
yeah,
Joe Pyfer at 14, who's fighting Adesanya, and then Paul
yeah.
Costa and Gregory Rodriguez.
But after beating a rank 11, do you think he could go in like a top 5 to 10? Who's in that sort of category, or is that a bit too much for him?
I think personally, no. I think he needs to fight another rank. Maybe like say put
Oscar
him
would be a
against
good
even
one.
Gregory Rodriguez, RoboCop. You've got
Yeah,
Jared Cannonier, number 10.
yeah,
I think he needs to just prove himself a little bit against somebody else in the 10 to 5, and then
yeah.
get him in the top rankings then.
Hmm. Yeah,
But
yeah, I
do you
agree.
know, the only thing is, like you say, not unfortunate because he is at his prime. He's in amazing shape. If he was that few years younger,
Yeah,
so he
yeah.
gets like a few more years, you know what I mean, to
I,
build himself up, but he's
I
still
guess
gonna do
there's
really well.
still no reason if he did 2 fights this year and got 2 wins this year. He's
Yeah.
probably in the top 5 then. So why not then? I guess push for a
Yeah, mate. And
title
look,
shot.
age is just a number these days. Because look at fucking
Yeah.
Roel Yomiro, who's
Well, yeah.
fucking
Everyone just
who
keeps going. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I'm not saying he's old. I'm not saying he's old at all. He's
No,
fucking
I wasn't either.
11 years younger than me.
I'm older than the bloke, so I
Yeah,
can't say,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
But I mean, in a sense of his age where he is now
Athletic
in fighting,
rankings.
yeah, yeah. But
Yeah.
yeah, 2 wins. I don't think why he couldn't get in the top 5, but we'll just see.
Nah,
Be
mate. Yeah.
another good guy to just follow and watch that. Well,
Yeah, he is, and he's exciting. I love like that he takes risks with the spinning back fist, the high
yeah,
kicks again,
hmm,
axe kicks, wheel kicks and shit. That's what you like to see in it. He's showing
yeah,
his martial
yeah.
arts. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, I enjoy that.
The last fight on the sorry, not the last fight, but the first fight on the card. was Curtis Campbell versus Danny Silver. I was quite gutted for Curtis Campbell, to be fair. He's 8-0, you know. It was his debut for UFC, wasn't it? It was his debut fight in UFC.
Out of the
Yeah,
contender series, yeah, this is the first. He
yeah,
just been signed after his last knockout.
yeah.
I know, I was
Um,
gutted for him,
what was
man.
that? Yeah, it beat Denver Sec, wasn't it, in the contender series?
That was it,
But
mate, yeah.
he's only 23, so it's just a little knock. It's his first fight. A lot of people might lose their first fights in the UFC and still carry on going.
Yeah.
So I think
Well,
he'll
and that
just dust himself off.
yeah, and that's the
It was,
game, innit? A KO,
it,
TKO, it can happen
it was
fucking anyone,
was a
anytime.
second. It was a second round. You know, a second round. So at least he didn't go sort of 3 rounds of fighting. So you know, he'll just dust himself off. It was it was a great stoppage. He did
Yeah, it
cut
was.
him three times, taking nothing away from Danny Silver. Danny Silver, I
Yeah.
thought, was amazing. He had some great boxing, like in the first round. I'd say Curtis Campbell probably took the first round as in he was throwing more kicks and he was a bit faster and a bit more elusive. But you could see Danny Silver getting his range and sort of feeling him out with the boxing. And I think in the second round, he's like, I know I'm going to catch him. I know I'm going to get him.
Yeah, I think he moved sides, he moved angles slightly, Silver,
Yeah.
for like halfway through the first round, because he could
Yeah.
see where he had an opening, and you could see his angles were fucking really nice. And then by the
Yeah.
time that second round come, he must have realised what he's got to do, and he executed it. And yeah, he deserved it. And
Yeah.
it was just one of them. But
I
Campbell
think,
was looking good anyway.
and it's great for Danny Silver. Danny Silver's 10-2. 3 wins in 4, so he's not he's no joker fight. He's 29, so he's gonna go up in he's gonna move up in the rankings, and it'll just be get Curtis Campbell just get back on his bike and just start go back to the drawing board, see where he went wrong, and just I think his career
That's it.
still carries on going. I don't think he's
Oh
gonna
no, mate, he's got
stop.
too much of a following as well. Where he come over from other organisations,
Yeah,
he was a champion, obviously, and he's got a lot of people behind him. So
yeah.
I don't think, I don't, if it don't affect him too much in the head, I think he'll be fine and he'll fly on. I do.
So yeah, that was the card. Like I said, I thought it was a great card, apart from the middle, but it's still a fight. It's still a you're
Yeah.
still watching some technical fighting. The one question I put down to ask you from before before we missed the last show was: would you have paid close to £300 for a ticket? After now watching it, would you have been like, "Nah, that was money well spent," or would you be still a bit like, "That's still a bit expensive"?
Nah, I'll be honest with you. I would be happy with betting 300 quid, as long as it wasn't my last 300 quid. You know
Yeah,
what
I
I
get
mean?
you. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Nah,
I
I
don't
would
think
have.
you go away unhappy, and especially if you go in like a lot of people go 300 quid. That's a lot of money, but then that 300 quid, some people just go for the last 3 fights. If you go there from
Yeah,
the beginning, I think your
exactly.
money's well spent there. Like
But
so,
can I be honest? I paid 300 quid to see that Mason Jones fight live
yeah, exactly, 100%.
because
Yeah,
I got
yeah,
goosebumps watching it on the TV and I could hear the sound, how hard
yeah,
they were hitting each
mhm,
other. And
yeah,
if I was there within that vicinity, 300 quid would be well
yeah.
spent.
Agreed. Yeah.
100%.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
I got a little announcement if you don't mind.
go on,
Um,
go for it,
I
bro.
just thought they announced Bisping into the Hall of Fame
Oh, are
last
they?
night at the
Oh, I missed
London
that.
one.
I
Man,
ah
it was it was really, really nice to see, and, like, the crowd were buzzing, and
yeah.
they showed a monologue of, like, his family and his
Oh, I need to
dad,
go
and
back to that because I was watching it back this morning. I was just going on key onto the fight. So yeah, I'll watch her back. Sorry.
yeah, mate, that I just luckily caught it. I think I went in the kitchen and done something or whatever on the break, come
Yeah.
back in, and, but he looked absolutely fucking buzzing with
Oh,
it, do you know what I mean? And he
do you know what
deserves
fight
it,
it was
doesn't he?
after?
Mate, I don't, I'm sorry,
I'll have a look.
no,
Look for the video now. I'd like to watch that back. Yeah, well deserved.
yeah, so
No one can argue with that. I mean, he's got
no,
so many
mate,
records in the UFC. I think one of his
yeah.
records is what was a crazy one he was talking about the other day? Like most fighter to get knocked down the most and still come back and win, or get knocked down
Yeah,
most in fights. He holds the record for that.
well, the Anderson Silva was the one, wasn't it? That
Yeah,
knockout, and then come back from that and won and fuck. But yeah, just all round
yeah.
amazing career. So
Well
good on the
done.
old boy.
Yeah, I like that. That's really good. I missed that. I haven't seen any of that, but yeah,
Yeah.
excellent. So yeah, that concludes our show. We're next show is quite exciting because we're going to be doing it live in Evervale. We're going to be in
Indeed.
Everville Sports Centre watching the Samurai Fighting Championships. So a lot of Welsh fighters on there that we're going to be excited to go and see.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh yeah. We
Yeah,
also there's also Moses Atoma fighting next week, so that'll be a great one. Unfortunately, we probably won't get round to watch that because we'll be in Everville. So look out for us in Everville. We'll be interviewing members of the public, people going in to watch. So, or if you're fighting,
yeah.
you want to come and have an interview while we're there. If you, I know you're going to be locked in, focused, but we'll be there.
Look, guys, yeah, you know the channel, Fight Cat TV on Instagram. We're Fight Cat TV on YouTube. Please, if you see any of our content, you don't even have to watch the whole thing. Just give us a bit of a like, a subscribe, and just give us a chance and see if you like it.
Yeah.
And
We're
if you do
we're
follow
early
us,
on. We're early on. We're getting used to it. We're getting better. But yeah. Cheers, guys. Thanks
yeah,
for listening.
cheers, old buddy. I'll catch you on
Oh,
the next one.
yes, man. Peace out.
Peace.